Washington.
This is Martin for here once again.
Hola, como esta? No good things of this nature. What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Jamari 4 here once again. And we're going to talk about this latest episode of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta that aired on yesterday, as of last night. So we're going to hop right into the meat and potatoes of the situation. This episode starts off where it left off with Nico, Margot, Mimi, Arian at the, what's that, whose event was it? Girl, yeah. Couldn't even get a name out. It almost choked me. Prima Donna and her corset thing. And I don't remember who it was that I watched. I feel like it was Scotty. Somebody's review I was watching. It was like, Prima Donna's sitting up here setting up all these corsets, honey, but that waistline. Anyway, so they're at this event. Already. We only a minute in and already. And they come together and, Nico's trying to introduce Mimi to Marco. And, she's like, hey, how you doing? And Mimi's like, giving all that shit. Y'all ever been, I just go on a random side tangent because I feel like I haven't recorded in a while. Y'all ever feel like y'all be at an event and you meet a new bitch? This usually happens between either females and gay men. Straight men, I don't really think have this problem. You meet a bitch, and it's like we are innately programmed. When we meet somebody new, like we just have to size them up. Like, what you got? She got bigger titties than me. He got a bigger chest than me. His arms bigger than me. He ain't all that cute. He ain't all that. Why we always got to bring people down initially just to try to make ourselves feel better? Like, I don't understand why we do that. Like, we have an initial meeting with somebody, and we just try to, give off this air of superiority. I don't know why we do that. But anyway, that's a different topic for a different day. So they get to talking, and Mimi is already just like, you know what? So you finally brought her out of hiding. So like, I hear that you've, had this sex tape and all this other shit. And so they pretty much just start going back and forth, and it escalates really quickly. And of course, Marco starts doing this. He's like, what you're going to do is da-da-da-da-da-da. And Mimi's like, get your hand out of my face. And first she said it nice and calm. Then she's like, bitch, get the fucking head out my goddamn face, ho. That's what she wanted to say, but Arian was there to kind of mitigate the situation. Is that the right word? Mitigate? I don't feel like that's the right word. What is it? Fuck it. She was there refereeing the shit. So, after that whole shit, they go back and forth. Mimi starts saying something about Nico having a battery in her back, telling her lies and all this other stuff. And they walk off. That whole shit was staged. I feel like that whole shit was staged. Because there's no way that... I don't see... And here's another thing. How is it that they be recording all this show, they having all this action-packed stuff, like these arguments, these fights, these loud-ass discussions, and y'all be noticing the people that be like in the back, they be either at a restaurant, they just be sitting there chilling like they don't hear nothing. That if this is reality, if I'm sitting up in the goddamn restaurant and I see somebody up there yelling and throwing drinks, guess what Jamar's gonna be doing? Bitch, did y'all see? That would be me. I want to know if they have them in that damn restaurant like, okay, we're about to film this scene here, and I need all of y'all motherfuckers to sit there, eat your pasta and noodles, drink your wine, and pretend like y'all don't see none of this shit going on. I'm gonna need y'all to just be background. Because there's no way that should be going on, especially since this is on its 4th season, and y'all know who these people are, chances are. If you've lived in the city, you know who these people are, you watched the show, and you think I'm gonna sit there and not be trying to be like, in the camera? I'm random today, y'all. Forget this might be a long video just because I go on all these tangents. But yeah, Margot and Arian talking. Pretty much their discussion is, okay, Mimi is my friend, so I love her to thick and thin. So even if she did do this, I would still love her. But because she's my friend, I'm going to believe that she didn't do this because she told me that. And Margot's like, well, look, I feel like Nico is my husband, and I believe that he wouldn't tell me wrong. Now the thing is, I would believe Mimi over Nico. Based off of Arian and Mimi's relationship and Nico and Marco's relationship, Marco, I feel like he's given you enough reason to disbelieve anything that comes from his mouth, relatively, just because you've already cried and broke down like twice because you didn't even believe that he was telling you that he didn't even do the sex tape, I believe, at some point. And then he's like, well, yeah, okay, this did happen. So he's lied a multitude of times. Now, as far as Arian and Mimi goes, I want to say that Mimi only may have lied to Arian about, how did she say it? Filming that there was more than one sex tape, I believe, when they were talking with her and I believe Rashida at the dinner table last season or something, and she ended up saying what there were multiple tapes. But yeah, so I would be more inclined to believe Mimi as Arian's friend than Nico as his wife. Like, I wouldn't believe just because he's my husband that he's gonna tell me the truth. So, moving on, we get to the scene where Mimi has her daughter Ava at the Universal Circus. And I went to the Universal Circus many years ago, and that's an awesome show. If they're ever in town and you have a chance to go, go. Anyway, they're there, and then Stevie J comes out as, like, I don't know, the ringleader or some shit. And, the daughter Ava's just sitting there screaming, laughing, having fun, looking at the animals. It was really nice to see. It was, really nice to see that the baby isn't, getting too much, being affected too much by all the bullshit that their parents are involved in. So, they go back to the house. I guess it's Mimi's house. Because it's Mimi's house. And they're talking about, while Stevie J's been gone, Mimi had this whole, interaction with Jessica Dimepiece and Tiffany Fox. Because, last that Stevie J checked, I don't think he didn't know anything about Jessica Dimepiece being on there, being managed by MF Productions yet. But he knew about Tiffany Fox because he had showed his ass at that showcase that she was doing. So she's like, I found out that your wife used to dance with Jessica Dime back in Miami. And he's like, Jessica Dime, nickel, penny, quarter. Oh, it's kind of hazy. It's, I don't really bullshit. Maybe it's like, nigga, you probably sit there and had a hazy night, for sure, with Jessica Dimepiece, okay? And so she tells him the whole thing that happened with Jazzy Faye and all this other stuff, and he just can't believe it. And as I watch this scene in particular, I'm noticing that they're just having this banter. And I'm just like, before the season's over, they're gonna fuck. I'm gonna call it right now. I just feel like, and then they had that little kiss on the cheek, and she had that whole hearty laugh that she be doing, whenever Mimi's flirting with somebody, that shit. And I'm just like, Mimi, what you doing? Why are you kissing him? Like, what you doing right now? Like, I'm just like, okay. Especially how this episode ended, that makes me believe this even more. But we're going to get there. Next, Kirk is on the road with not Jessica Dimepiece, girl. Ashley Nicole, is that her name? And she's going on like, man, I just had this bomb-ass performance. It was crazy. I just had so much fun. It was the bomb. And Kirk was like, it was all right. He was like, it was cute in the confessional. He's like, she's had her first little performance. It was cute, but there's a lot of work to be done. Now, of course we didn't see it, so we can't really judge for ourselves. But I'm just like, Kirk, I mean, he was throwing a hell of shade. But he gets a call from Young Jock saying, hey, I thought you was on tour. Like, are you going to be at this auction? And Kirk's like, what auction? He's like, man, stop playing. You mean to tell me you don't know about your own auction? And Kirk is like, the fuck you talking about? So he's like, oh, shit. Well, just to let you know, Rashida's over here auctioning off your shit. Offering off your four-wheeler, your watches, your shoes, your clothes. A lot of shit that you hold near and dear to your heart. And so he's like, driver, chop, chop. We need to make it this motherfucking auction to get this shit up. And so he shows up with Ashley, and of course, Rashida and her mom is there. And Rashida's like, you have the nerve to bring this bitch to what you call him. And personally, I mean, they was on the road already, so they was already together. Like, would you rather her stay in the car? I mean, would you rather stay outside? Like, I mean, she just kind of walked in. I don't remember, now that I think about it, I don't remember if Ashley initially said something, but I want to say that Rashida was like, and you have the nerve to bring this hoe in here, and then, of course, you know, Ashley's going to be like, bleh. She going to come back like, bitch, I ain't a motherfucking hoe, and this, that, and the form. You don't need to be addressing me, and da-da-da-da-da. And then here come the mama, bitch, I will address you the fuck I want to. And then she just loud as hell. I think her microphone was turned up too high. But they had that whole spat and shit. And Ashley, during the whole argument, Ashley said something like, it ain't my fault that your husband cheated on you. Bitch. I felt like Rashida. I was like, this bitch does all. She gonna throw shots at my personal life. Now, mind you, Rashida, I've constantly read you over and over again about you dealing with Kirk still at this point. But the fact that Ashley tried to go there, I'm like, nah, she know a little bit too much. Kirk been yapping at them gums a little bit too much. So I thought that Rashida was about to swing. I thought she was about to lay down the law on that ass. But she was like, you know what? Something must be wrong with your brain. Like, how dare you do? I'm like, Rashida, you is way too turned down for me right now. I'm gonna need you to talk all this shit in this confessional. Like, you about to hype up something. Like, you about to, you know, throw them blows and swing them things. Shout out to Brooke Valentine. I remember that song, Girl Fight, from like 2004. Ooh, Lord. Anyway. So, Ashley then walk off, and Kirk, you know, she was like, I can't believe you would have this disrespect, and you would do this and that. And I'm like, really? Like, okay. They had a scene later on where she was ignoring him and shit, and they tried to talk about it. My thing is like this, Kirk, if you can't dish it, okay, if you can't take it, don't dish it. That's what I meant to say. Like, you felt like it was okay for you to take money from a joint account, and you tried to say like, oh, well, we started this business. Okay, so if there's a joint account with two people's names on it, then both people need to be consent if there's any money drawn out from it, because if you're saying that account belongs to we, us, ours, then that means that you singly can't go out and withdraw money from it without it being a united decision. Okay, so since you want to go and be renegade and start, you know, taking money from me that belongs to me, I'm gonna start taking your shit and selling that shit and getting my money back. And so I feel like, Kirk, you really can't be mad. You should just be like, you know what, bitch? You got me. I feel like that's all he can really say, because, like, no, you ain't about to walk up in here and be like, regulate and tell them about what I can and can't do. When you done sat there and took $30,000 to build some random new house and have this buckhead office when you got this buckheaded bitch in there knowing all my business? Nope. You won't do it, Kirk. You will not do it. And Rashida, I know she's like, you know, I want to have this sanctity of marriage, and, you know, I want to believe that marriage is in for the long haul. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to hope and pray that that's the only thing that's keeping this marriage apart. Keeping this marriage together. Because, I know there's a sanctity of marriage, but I'm pretty sure that God also said, honor thyself. And I don't believe you're honoring thyself by making thyself look a damn fool on national television. But, you know, that's your business. You do what you want to do, Rashida, because girl, it couldn't be me. So, Arian comes over to talk to Mimi about the book deal and what happened and Margot and all that shit. Hold on, let me pull this thing back up. And, you know, she tells her about the children's book thing, and you got, you know, little Eva coloring in the book and, you know, making the illustrations and whatnot. Really, really cute. And Mimi dropped the bomb to saying that Nico had been recording all the conversations since they were together. And I'm like, I'm wondering, how do you do that? And I'm like, if he admitted that, and I guess she probably can't prove it at this point, but I'm like, I'm pretty sure that if you record somebody with, especially like audio or video, something like that, especially over that long period of time, then you could have them arrested. But I'm sure she doesn't have the evidence to prove nothing like that. So I'm just like, well, damn. And, you know, Arian, I think, is just trying to figure out, okay, so this is a good idea about the book thing. That's all cute. But the shit that Margot said, though, Like, is you lying? Is you not? Like, give me the motherfucking truth. Like, I feel like Aries is trying to be like, you know, if I just want to know what's going on so nothing happens and blows up in my face later on, or you get exposed later on and I'm gonna be sitting here looking, you know, looking crazy like you could have told me this sooner. That's what I just feel like Arian is doing at this point. So Carly Red in the gym with Joseline, and these bitches, this scene, I'm really was kind of over it. Carly Red, you're man, what the hell you gonna bring donuts into a damn workout session? And they were chocolate covered with sprinkles too, bitch. And Joseline looking at you like, really? Really? You gonna bring Shipley's donuts, Dunkin' Donuts in this motherfucker? But they was talking about, what were they talking about? Mimi and the whole Margot situation, and Joseline was mad that she didn't go to the damn party. I was like, it probably would have been taken focus off of what y'all talking about, and Joseline and Jessica Diapes would have been fighting in the damn back of the runway. So actually, I kind of wish she'd had gone. Now that I think about it. They talk about how Jessica Dime and Tiffany Fox are going to be on MF Productions or whatever they're calling it, and Joseline is like, excuse me, you gonna have this other bitch that I used to dance with, and ooh, sorry, I got something in the throat. So he's like, so you gonna hire motherfucking Jessica Dime Piece, who I used to, you know, fuck with and dance with, and now my husband is dealing with this bitch and trying to, you know, sign this bitch and put his efforts into this bitch. Like, I'm the only motherfucker that you should be putting your focus on. I'm the only artist that you need. You know, this is me and the motherfucking Puerto Rican princess and all this other shit. She just going on and on and on and on about how fuck Jessica Dime Piece. You should be focusing on me. My thing is, what have you produced? Because Stevie J has been fucking you on a consistent basis for 4 seasons now. And yet, you've been this Puerto Rican princess. Ooh, excuse me. Ooh. Is it coming up? Another one coming? Okay. You've been this Puerto Rican princess for about 4 seasons now, and you've released... what was that song she had last year, y'all? I don't even want to remember. I can't even really remember what the lyrics were, but she was just in this bathtub and she was looking dirty and shit, and she was saying something about my pussy is fat. Y'all remember what I'm talking about. And then now she got this Stingy with My Kitty Cat video, and I'm just like, girl, have you gotten anything to iTunes? Have you gotten even a Buzz single to iTunes? Has Love and Hip Hop even played your shit through the commercials? Like, why would people still want to invest money in Joseline Hernandez, music-wise, artistically-wise? Reality television, that's a different story. But as far as an artist goes, and you want people there to spend all their money on you, like, how would you return somebody's investment in you if they were to even get their money in you? Like, you can't sell it. Even, look, Mama D got a song on iTunes before Joseline Hernandez. Now, if I'm wrong, let me know. Point me to the link, because I want to see it. But Mama D got I Deserve on iTunes before Joseline got anything on iTunes. So, I'm just saying. Where are we at? Kirk and Rashida talk about respect. I talked about it. I clocked that shit already. Nene and Mimi and Mika. I can't talk. Mimi and Nico meet up talking about this sex tape, and Nico's going on like, you know, we both orchestrated this, and I'm gonna expose you. And I'm just like, Nico, if you're gonna do whatever this exposure that you're gonna do, just go ahead and do it. Like, why are you sitting there talking about it? And you said it like 3-4 times, like, you don't want me to expose you for whatever bullshit. I'm like, is this gonna be like from the conversation that y'all had? Like, I'm trying to figure out, like, you fucked this bitch on top of a shower rod. How much more exposed could the person possibly be? And Mimi just dropped off the little children's books. I'm like, I hope you make copies, because as far as the publishing networks knows, you still supposed to be writing some life story. Like, I hope you just made copies of those books, which, whatever, I don't think she did. But I don't know if just dropping them off like that will constitute, you know, that whole plan of getting you out that contract, because I don't know. It just seems like, okay, what is he supposed to do with this? Like, if he threw those away, like, he can just say that you never wrote the books. But anyway, of course, Mimi again storms off after she gets accused of orchestrating with the sex tape and blah, 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 blah. Pointless scene, really, in my opinion. It was just a way for her to drop off those books and whatever. So, we get to the end of the episode. Joseline's in the kitchen making ham, bacon, eggs, grits, sausage. You know, I had to do it. I had to do it. I love that video, by the way. A lot of people didn't like that Little Mama Sausage video. I thought that shit was hot. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. So she's making all this breakfast food, again, naked in her drawers with her ass out, with her whole asshole out. It has to be blurred again. And so Stevie J comes in, and she's looking at him like... and Stevie's like, what the fuck? Like, what's going on? And she's pretty much... I don't even think she even said it, to be clear. I didn't think she clearly said, like, what her issue was. But she was still just mad at him for dealing with, Jessica Dime-Piece. But I don't think she never really said what it was. She was like, you can keep yourself, you can keep your marriage, like fuck your wedding. You can, you can keep you and your whole ass bitches through the drink at him. And I'm feel like he's sitting there looking confused as fuck. Like, I don't know what the hell just happened. Like, why is she mad? And she just, of course they just keep calling each other bitch back and forth. You bitch, I'm a bitch, you're a bitch, we're all bitches. And he's like, I never would have married you anyway. Don't they always come up with that? When you get into an argument with somebody and they was going to do something with you, like, I wasn't even going to do it anyway. I don't even like you like that. No way. Like, bitch, don't try to renege now that we in a fight. Girl, please. So, next week, oh, you know what? I didn't even talk about, I didn't even write that shit down. But actually, you know what? There's really no need. Because it's gonna be coming up next week. I really forgot to talk about the whole Miss Piggy, what's her name? Kadia and Jock and that whole shit, how he pretty much weaseled his way back into her life. I'm like, girl, I don't know what more you need. Like, if you just want to stay with this nigga just for the hell of it, I don't understand it. But it's gonna get juicier next week. So we're gonna talk about that in more detail next week. But thank you guys so much for watching this review of Love and Hip Hop. I think this is episode 7, season 4. And make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share, and tweet it to the cast of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. And put me everywhere. We're trying to get ourselves out here, baby. We're trying to get ourselves out here. But thank you guys so much for watching. I think I'm going to record another video. If it's not today, it's going to be tomorrow. Unentertainment related. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Like, share, subscribe.
Washington, Washington.